And I think one of the reasons why we don't see the Spectre right now is I think as we near the end of the patch, and I was this actually yesterday that I discussed this
Yeah,
with
we were
you.
talking about
As
this.
we near the end of the patch, I think what really starts mattering more and more is instead of the hero counters, which everybody's sort of figured out, you get into which heroes build the items that are strong right now. And Spectre does not build Armlet, she does not build SNK, she does not build Helm of the Overlord. Um, so
Doesn't build
yeah,
Refresher.
that's
Doesn't really build BKB like every single game.
no. Exactly. She'd much rather actually get damage done to her and be tanky. Doesn't really buy the Shivas either. So it's I think that's one of the reasons why it's such a rare pick right now. It doesn't really jive with the items, so it doesn't really make her like an easy pick. Like, all right, she's going to be strong, independent of what else is happening in the game. It really needs to be a good Spectre game for you to pick it, which I do think this is.
Absolutely adorable. Most times when teams end up making a banner, completely on just a fluff note now, while we wait for everyone to get loaded in. Most times when teams make their banners, they only end up making the front of it correctly because on the back is actually it's a square image that you have to upload, and then the right half of the image goes onto the back. This one's just as cute. You got the rest of the rats on their four staffs back here. It's adorable. Absolutely adorable. What's on the back of these banners? Anything nice for the e-boys? Ah, see, this is what they normally end up looking like, where you have one half of their logo on the front of the
Yeah.
banner and then the other half of the logo on the back of the banner. And sometimes teams will hide some things back there. Nothing too naughty, of course, but just a couple little fun Easter eggs, like a hi mom or something back there. It's always fun to see. As there's the good to go.
Let's get it.
Talk to me a little bit about the mid lane rotations, right? Because you've got some pretty active mid laners. Well, first, I think it makes more sense to talk about rotations to the mid lane. Because, right, you've got a Clockwork, you've got, I guess, Snapfire's okay at it. But something that 5RAT
Snapfire's
ForceStaff
pretty great.
have been doing consistently this season, which has really impressed me because they are an open qualifier team, is that they've constantly rotated over for especially power runes. Usually both supports, if they can muster it, do end up rotating away, as that's a little bit awkward, both the supports. Yep, that'll be taken down immediately. But usually, as I was saying, both the supports like to rotate mid lane. How do you see this like kind of laning stage play out with that in mind between this Ember and this Quap?
I think the Snapfire should be able to get a good rotation in early, and that does spell risk for the Quap, especially if the Ember can spare a point in the Searing Change. They don't really like doing that because it very much cuts into their farming potential, but it does give you kill potential on that Queen of Pain, which is something that's going to come in handy later on as well. But on the bottom lane, I'm not sure how wise it is to leave a Luna alone versus an OD. The OD is going to get too much out of it, and also, honestly, that Clockwork, he can definitely do big work for just your mid laner there. You don't want to be an Ember getting caught on the wrong side of a cogs.
The battle
Yeah,
begins.
no, you do not. Especially without points in your remnants, making things a little bit more complicated for you. But no other aggression other than just battles onto the sentry wards, or battles and onto the observer ward, I should say. This camp block. This camp is blocked up top lane for 5RATFORCESTAFF, so that'll be dewarded here pretty quickly as well. Although Ziz has other plans for his first sentry, of course, going to take down this ward, which is already denied by the Bane. No need to feed over that 100 gold anyway.
Much better to have Ziz waste that money there.
Already first point in the Flame Guard, first point here in the Shadow Strike. I think we've... Yeah, right? This is normally what we see, I think? Or is it more points in Scream of Pain early on? I think we had this exact matchup at least once yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And it's basically, does the Queen of Pain think that the Ember can dodge the daggers? And Nico has just demonstrated that he in fact can. Most queens just go for the Scream of Pain in order to make sure they can outpush the waves that the Flame Guard shoves, because she can't actually get through the Flame Guard anymore. Unless all 3 ticks on the dagger hit. So...
Nice deny there on the range creep at least. It's going to be a little bit of confidence regained for Oklahoma. But for now, not expecting anything too crazy to pop off in that mid lane. Speed starting level 1 with Arcane Orb. Of course, the Astral's good in the mid lane because it allows you to completely deny anything in the mid lane. But here, where there's 2 heroes, you can't really expect to get that for free. So you need points in the Arcane Orb, and now a point in the Essence Flux even. Okay.
Really keeping up that harass. And this is something where the Bane would love to be trading right now, but if he steps forward too far, he's going to take too much damage from that Clockwork, need to waste his Nightmare. And in the meantime, his Luna is just going to be taking all of those Arcane Orbs to the face.
Yep.
That damage really starts
Gotta
kicking
be a
in.
bit careful as well. This is, yeah, Ziz has got brown boots already, so he's lucky that the OD is not here to put in a little bit more damage with the Arcane Orbs, but he's going to be at least bullied underneath his own Tier 1 tower. Top lane, just checking in with Murdoch as he is already forced to use one of the healing salves. A full Wraith Band already on the Spectre. Don't really see too many of these days. But into the Falcon Blade and Brown Boots queued up currently. And of course, Armlet for Tingle King. Expecting, as you said, a little bit more of kind of a carry Spectre in this off lane if they can afford it, right? Given a good lane start. A Silver Edge this game is just looking very, very nice.
Yep, that would be great, and that does mean I'm expecting to see a little bit of adjustment from this Ember Spirit in his build as well, as Tingle King crosses that distance with ease.
Yeah, that cookie doing work. Albino Zebra, though, just mostly interested in surviving, as he's not really going to look for the stun onto the Tingle.
They got Overlong bot.
They do, again, with the brown boots and plenty of movement speed. Speed is going to be able to run down, catch up, and overtake Overlom, who is going to go down. First blood there for him. And, well, I mean, it's Bane making space, but usually you don't draft Bane for the specific intent of actually dying first in the game, whether, let alone the lane, isn't it? He's generally thought of as a very, very strong lane pick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, usually the tactical feeding on the Bane starts later on in the game, if you're following the solo style guide, of course. Big admirer of that here, but, you know, in the laning stage, definitely not. You're one of the best trading supports in the game, and instead he has so much trouble getting in range without risking himself.
That's Clockwork pick already paying off, but right now 5RATFORCESTAFF, I don't want to say dominating, but it's top 3 here in terms of net worth. Albino Zebra is going to die in top lane. Quick little cookie, opportunistic kill from B-God, who does have the Blightstone, no points in the Shredder, so perhaps those 2 points in Scatterblast do end up surprising the Albino Zebra there. But there's already the OD doing a pretty darn good job here, getting a lot of last hits in. This is going to be a pretty fast hammer. I think we saw like a 5-minute hammer somewhere in West EU, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not going to be quite as fast, but perhaps around 6 or 7 minutes here for this Meteor Hammer at the current rates. Already having half of the components here already, really, and enough gold here for the third and 1 more CS. So, yeah, really chugging along quite nicely. Right now, the only person, to me, that's kind of fallen behind so far is going to be the Spectre in the top lane. 15-0 compared to the 22-2 of the Luna.
Yep, and she's not going to farm as fast after the laning stage either. Spectre, notorious for not really having any natural steroids that suit her build. We've seen a lot of Blade Mails previously, and right now this Falcon Blade is really just to enable farming with the Spectral Dagger, which is not amazing.
Cookie thrown at Murdoch. They're going to look to turn, but a very nice scatter shot there is going to provide the movement speed slow. That'll force back Murdoch, but yeah, Luna is going to die. Bane able to trade away Ziz immediately afterwards, but still a win, of course, for E-Boys. As they are going to be slowing down especially the experience game, but of course the CS of the Luna. She's set to miss basically a full wave, and I don't know. I don't know about this pull. The Bane ended up pulling the lane, and that's a little, it's a little sus right there. It's a little sus of a pull, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this when I was talking about the rotations. I don't think you can leave the Luna alone in this lane. She needs somebody to cushion all of the blows, and they just dived her right there.
Yeah, just also wasn't a good time to pull either, right? I mean, the wave's going to dive tower. Waves are great at tanking the towers early, even if they haven't been upgraded, and yeah, just not a good time to pull, unfortunately. That's me as a support going, if I had done that, I would have to be just apologizing and buying items for my safe laner, lest he tilts out of the game.
Same. That's definitely at least one salve purchase, but also like an extra babysit ward.
Just an extra I'm sorry kind of, you know, chat wheel. Okay, mid lane. Sonic Wave is going to pick up the kill on the B-God. I did notice he was mid lane for some time. Oklahoma retreating underneath his tier 1 tower, but will be sliced down by Nico, who does also bottle up that first Arcane Rune. So kill in favor of the Quap, but Nico, who does fortify the wave here, try to keep his wagon alive. Won't really be able to capitalize off of this too much, but still, the kill onto the Quap is well worth it.
And he has been able to push out this wave just with the Flame Guard, because the Quap has been scaling further into the Shadow Strike, meaning that she couldn't push out fast enough. Nico's had most of the runes in this mid lane. He's doing great.
He's off to a great start. And everyone knows it's important to control a fire before it gets out of control. We'll see here how well Ember is going to be able to pop off, as there's, again, only level 2 Flame Guard, but with this Arcane Rune, he's going to be able to farm up a Frenzy here, given that he'll have basically another one ready to go as soon as this one expires. We'll see if he ends up wanting to make a rotation away as well. Top lane seems a little bit hard to kill. Maybe with level 6 you can commit a Spirit Bomb and end up winning a duel onto the Grimstroke, but I think Murdoch's already a little bit too tanky, unless he's super out of position.
Yeah, Murdoch's big. He's got a Falcon Blade as well. 200 extra health on a Spectre always feels so much extra dispersion damage, man.
Goes a long way. Here's a rotation from Ziz, though. D-God is currently positioned behind. Albino Zebra thinking about going on in. Tingle King does have the Helm of the Iron Will, 2 Gauntlets of Strength. Quite a tanky last here, as they will throw the cookie in to at least create a bit of space. Tingle King is currently being pursued here by the Clockwork. Now they've got the Crocs of the Battery Assault, allowing that Spectral Dagger to catch up and claim the life of the Tingle King. Down he will go. So Ember Spirit not needed. Well, maybe he could have been useful there, but actually the rotation is going to come from E-Boys first in that top lane, at least with the supports. OD already off to just a good enough start. He's got this first hammer.
Yeah.
I think he's about to use it, and this is going to be good enough, yeah, to boot the Luna into the jungle. And what's a Bane to do here? He's a Bane.
He is a Bane without a level 6. I mean, he can in fact set up for that Ember Spirit rotation as soon as he gets his level 6, especially he'll be looking for that. But I'm not sure if Speed's actually going to let himself get caught that easily.
Yeah, it's just going to be hammer from
Yeah,
the trees.
look at that positioning.
Yeah, and this is it. Again, what I meant was, yeah, I mean, what's Bane to do here? Bane, not famous for his wave clear. Down goes the tower. There's Nightmare. Okay, Italiano Gunstar is coming on in. Does not have the points in the Eclipse, however, so they're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. There's Fiend's Grip then, as mid lane, Murdoch, sorry, that's top lane, they're also fighting, but this is a full duration Fiend's Grip onto Speed. They will get the kill back top lane. Stuck inside the cogs is Tingle King. Has a duel, has an armlet. Decent armlet toggle here, as he's going to try to actually duel through this one. Oh, wow. Okay. You admire the bravado on that one, Tingle King, but, you know, unfortunately, this is not poker. You can't bluff your way through a duel like that.
That was... I don't even want to call it courageous. That was slightly insane.
Yeah, again, it was kind of like a bluff to me. That's what that one kind of seemed like.
Yeah.
Okay, Speed,
Just...
setting up the hammer. Oh, okay, but the Nightmare is going to be there to interrupt. Ziz trying to actually get onto the Snapfire. Snapfire will oblige him there with the cookie, as there's the chains onto 2. Oklahoma stuck in a pretty of a rough spot. He commits the Sonic Wave. It's going to find the Ember, but will not be enough damage for the kill. As he does have this Shadow Strike applied. Is he going to be okay? Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, just about.
It was a little close, but he knew he had it. Oh, Spectral Haunt. Oh, Murdoch, he's in the base! You madman, but the Spectral Dagger has been juked by Nico. Oh, that was a close one.
That man has been dodging daggers all lane, Murdoch.
Yeah.
You didn't think he'd fall for the last one, did you? That was beautiful, though.
Spectral Dagger is absolutely no different. I've got a replay cut of that, but they are going to be perhaps attempting for another kill onto Tingle King. Albino Zebra is here with an Invis Rune. There's going to be the hook shot now connecting from the trees. Murdoch able to float over those cogs with the Spectral Dagger. This one's not going to miss. And there's a second kill onto the Tingle King. Lots of pressure, lots of heroes mid right now from 5RATFORCESTAFF, so we'll hold off on the replay for now, because it looks like they want to push with this tier 1, push this tier 1 rather with the wagon. They'll have the tower.
And I really like this. I guess I don't want to say in spite of the deaths that the LC has been getting on top. Like, ideally, this mid movement with 2 heroes that are not as important to get off to a good start, or at least that will recover better, should draw attention away from that off lane where they want the LC to have a good time. She's on the bottom lane now.
There's that Spectral Dagger dodge. Oh, it hit him. He just had Flame Guard up. Silly me, as Nico picks up the kill onto the Grimstroke. Silly me.
But yeah, they're moving together with this Luna Ember, really outputting the most of the damage of their that their carry can do right now. And she does have the full Lunar Blessing as well, so getting her in on those early moves, it's risky because she's so fragile, right? But if you can do it, especially because you know, say, the Quap isn't there, then leveraging that can get you great things, like an enemy mid-tower at 11 minutes, which is absolutely fantastic.
It is, especially when you need space from somewhere. It's not really expected that the LC is going to be able to provide that space, given how much E-Boys have focused on shutting her down. So being able to rotate in the core and make that up a little bit. Oh, did we Fiend's Grip a creep there? I think the tomato got Fiend's Gripped a little bit. Hellbear Smashers, you what, mate? He's going to be killed by Spectre now, but that was a little bit unfortunate.
Somewhere in Denmark, Misery wakes up in a cold sweat.
Somewhere Hellbear Smasher's in trouble.
Wasted OD, can't find anything for now.
Okay.
Speed's been having a great game, and every time I see Speed have a great game, I know that E-Boys is on their way to having themselves a, at the very least, a long one.
It's true. That is true. I will say he is struggling, I want to say, to really find impact with his early hammer. He wasn't able to defend the mid tower. Of course, it's an OD. He's not really that kind of offlaner that you can kind of just park mid and delay the tower push, especially when they have ways of easily, well, at least canceling your hammer or nullifying it. No such forge for him to strike that one upon. Not this game. And
now you'd like to park him away from the attention where he can do things like, well, he did take that bottom tower, right?
True.
Ideally, you'd have that happen again.
That's true. The creeps are pushing in towards the mid lane. That's going to force back Nico. He does have a Remnants back top lane, though, so he can continue putting some pressure to the top tier 1. But for now, it's a smoke play from 5RATFORCESTAFF as they were attempting to bait Nico. E-Boys, they're not going to fall for that one, though, because they don't have a tier 1 tower, so that would be an extremely aggressive dive from them. So right now, it looks like 5RATFORCESTAFF, the best they can do with this smoke is just set up a couple of wards in the enemy triangle. They have dewarded their own ancient camp, so Italiano Gangstar is going to continue just farming up. Spectre is continuing to farm up, albeit much slower than the Luna, because, of course, it's a Luna. But Murdoch almost has this Acceptor online. Very popular build these days on the Spectre. How about that bottom? Oklahoma might be in trouble. There's a Fiend's Grip now, and no tomato nearby to tank it. Oklahoma in trouble. As down come the kisses from Mortimer. They're going to have enough for the kill. Tingle King can't quite get in there in time for the duel, however. No phase boots. Straight to the Blink Dagger for him. As that will be purchased now, but a kill onto the Quap. Nonetheless, it's going to be a win for the 5RATFORCESTAFF side.
Absolutely. I do find it funny that Tingle King literally did not believe.
Here comes the support duo, as we've seen them in previous series make a lot of work happen. They're almost, well, they were alone until Murdoch decides to show on up. Tingle King is here now, has a duel at the right. He's going to turn and find a victory onto Ziz. Banished and perhaps in a bit of a tough spot. Well, it's going to be B-God, but not really even. So Murdoch ends up just haunting back away from this fight, and they get an extra kill onto the Grimstroke. Strong stuff here from 5RATFORCESTAFF as they find a kill bottom and immediately rotate back top lane.
Speed?
Where they're going to find Speed. I was going to say they're going to be able to push this tier 1 tower, but I think they're going to get a +1 as well here onto the OD. He's going to buy himself a bit of time with that Astral Imprisonment, but there's literally everyone waiting for him. He's not making it out of that one.
He is not, and that move from E-Boys really needed a Quap behind it instead of that Spectre. She just does not provide the burst damage. And so instead she had to get out again immediately, leaving the poor support duo to their devices. It's so unfortunate that Oklahoma got found punished for just that one wave.
Yep. Yeah, and it was actually honestly pretty a good move if Quap was alive, right? Because you have a tier 1 tower there, you can TP in and fight and go in with the support duo. Again, this is a support duo that E-Boys have run at least 2 or 3 times this DPC season, and it's always looked pretty good, as Tingle King is just going to scare away Oklahoma. Doesn't have nearly enough damage, pardon me, to consider a duel. Mid lane, though, there's Speed unable to get off the Meteor Hammer onto the Ember Spirits. Astral Imprisonment, though, will buy him enough time, as the Nightmare has been toggled on over to the Grimstroke. Everyone now joining the fight is Ziz. I'm not sure what he hit there with the hookshot. Must have been the small creep. There's also a Fiend's Grab right now onto the Spectre, but they've already gotten rid of the Ember Spirit as he has been forced to Remnant on back. No B-God kisses either, so Oklahoma very easily able to turn onto the secondary support and find the kill.
Incoming.
And there is the Quap finally getting involved. Nico knew that he had to get out of dodge when she turned up. He does have a DB though, and his full Maelstrom finished. He's really big boy right
It's got a
now.
lot of damage. There's no haunt. There's no sonic wave. There is a duel, and this DD rune ready to go.
Blink?
Yeah, but Finkel had that blink. He revealed the bottom, so E-boys are aware of this blink dagger. Of course, with speed not showing or speed not being the primary target, it's always a little bit scary, right? Because he could be expected to just simply get off a save. So 5RATFORCESTAFF, they're not going to push their luck. They're just going to continue farming up their items. Nico, considering his next move, probably a BKB though, to be quite honest, to match at least Italiano Gunstar's timing a BKB. Of course, he's got it a bit fast because he's disassembled in that Dragon Lance. Got it ready to go. BKB queued up for the LC. Okay, so a double BKB timing.
Go mid? No.
Coming now. They're going to reconsider. I thought about going in there.
I'm just watching these two.
Yeah, these guys are great when they play together. Okay, there's Spectre Ags. How does Murdoch and the rest of you boys look to kind of pivot around the Spectre Ags, though? Because the game is, it's not out of their control yet, but it is kind of slipping away from them, I would say, at this stage. And they can probably sense that, especially as Roche is going on. How does Spectre Ags change the face of this game?
Honestly, mostly in terms of getting the vision, or the follow-up vision, I should say, for these two supports. It all hinges on them, really. And if you don't have the vision to start with, it becomes very hard to pull off, and he's so fragile right now as well.
Yeah, speaking of vision, that rocket flare out from Ziz is just a second late. Well, it was really late, to be honest, because it scouts Roche right as he dies, and they'll see Ember claim that first Aegis. Glowing blue as well, with the strength of the double damage rune. He's not a very enticing target right now. Lots of wards right now for E-boys watching over this river area as they fortify their triangle. 5RATFORCESTAFF still with first Aegis in hand. Might go for an expedition.
And really, what E-boys is waiting here for is the Ags on speed, who is flying very close to the sun right now.
Yeah, he just walks up to that Bane and decides to hit him with the Astral. Okay, fight breaking out in the river now. There's going to be a duel as they found at least the Grimstroke. That's the Shadow Step on it, not the full Haunt. And they're going to use that to get Albino Zebra an extra 20 damage, with speed being held down with the Fiend's Grip taken down. It's a 1-for-3 trade now, and Nico's making to look at an even better exchange here as he jumps onto Murdoch. Spectral Lagger down into the river as he has so far managed to escape. He's got a Haunt. I'm not sure what kind of fancy plays he can look to make other than just simply TP away, which is extremely effective. That'll save his life, and it's a 1-for-3 trade in favor of 5RATFORCESTAFF.
Yeah, and that right there is exactly the risk of this naked Aghanim Scepter. If you're the only damage that they're bringing in, then they can just
Bane?
easily turn around and focus on you.
Oh, Bane, he just turned in the wrong direction. He almost had a TP cancel there onto the Queen of Pain.
Dang.
Oh, he just assumed that she would have been, you know, left in the trees and not right. Had he decided to turn right instead, he easily would have had that. But Bane, he took the long way around when he turned. Of course, Heroes with a turn
That's
rate.
a shame.
No, and here's going to be, yep, a hammer being canceled, and perhaps even a kill. B-God closing the gap, has got a cookie. Murdoch with another Shadow Step in, but he's just going to be stunned here. Oklahoma nearby has Sonic Wave. Not ready here, actually. So cannot look to follow up on this. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but that is your offlaner for a position 5 Bane. And he didn't even use grip for that.
It's so tanky, demands so much attention from these heroes, especially when the Sonic Wave is not up, their damage is really limited.
Yeah, this real damage issues. Yeah, you're exactly right. With this build on the Spectre, it's going to speed up a little bit, right? This kind of spectral haunts, sorry, the astral Shadow Step play I've always seen has always been, you know, go onto a support, sometimes even with Orchid, and Orchid pop the Manto Illusions, and then just leave. Yes, there's a duel for Ziz. Quite tanky, though. And he's going to have the cogs out. Nico giving chase. They should have this kill. No dual damage is going to be awarded for it, however, as that is a Shadow Step again. Kind of wish that it had a different sound cue, much like Troll, Warlords, Ag Scepter, Rampage, and, you know, Battle Trance. Very similar sounds. I wish that one was a little bit different. Just reverse it or something. I don't know.
That would be pretty cool. Or like a lot of reverb.
Yeah, something needs to be different. You only hear it out of one ear. They're giving chase. On a Zebra. They suspect someone is here, and they are correct. Single King has another duel in 8 seconds, so he's probably telling his team, please don't kill him,
Oh, yeah.
Please don't kill him. Wait 2 more seconds,
Just
guys.
wait.
Okay, and Albino Zebra, please. Oh, okay, he's going under, he's trying to die to the tower. Oh my god, he's done it.
What a player. Yeah, that's a tip.
Oh, very nicely done. Very, very nicely done.
And Fiend's Grip?
Yep, Fiend's Grip here. Hookshot's going to cancel it. The kisses are right in this choke point here. Good damage on Oklahoma, but not nearly enough damage. Finally, Tinkle King. He will not be denied his dual kips. It's going to be onto Ziz. It's not quite the Grimstroke he wanted, but it's still another 20 damage onto his support.
Yep, and I want to point out here, by the way, that Tinkle King is not the one going for the Shadow Blade here. It's actually the Luna who grabs the Chrysalis first, and she is going to be the one going into the Silver Edge.
Never refuse good.
That's interesting. I'm not opposed to it. I think this was a better change by Valve, right? To instead of a Chrysalis, Chrysalis being swapped in rather in place for the Echo Saber, because before there was almost no place and no position for a ranged hero to ever buy Silver Edge, but now there is. You've got a guaranteed crit, some nice damage. You know, Luna normally at this stage would go for something like a Daedalus anyway, so you know this is still going to be a damage item for her. I like this. I kind of like this. Can she be? Is she reliably the one though? Like, let me find the words here. A Spectre with, you know, having been broken is a big key eventually to win these team fights. Right now, Spectre doesn't really have the items, but you can't itemize expecting that that'll always be the case, because that's how you lose games. LC, hold that thought, is looking for a duel onto Speed. They have found one, but they're actually going to be able to turn the Sonic Wave now onto 2. No dual victor here. Speed is going to be able to drop the hammer, however, and that's 2 heroes instantly deleted. Throws himself in the Astral Imprisonment as Italiano Gangstar throws out the Eclipse. It'll pick up the kill onto 1, nearly 2 here. The auto attacks needed for the kill onto Ziz, as Murdoch's still taking a lot of damage here. 3 for 3 with a buyback now from B-God comes through, but Murdoch, oh, he's going to live just on a hair of HP here. Strength Treads are going to allow him to make it out. A nice TP there in the midst of the trees is going to allow him to escape as well. Oh, that was close.
And you know how I talked about E-Boys always being unlucky? That was actually 5RATFORCESTAFF getting very unlucky. Not just with that last hit onto the Spectre not rolling high enough, but also Nico's Aegis timed out in the middle of that. He did not get blown up by the OD because his Flame Guard was still up, and as a result he actually loses Aegis in the middle. His regen immediately gets cancelled by an auto attack and he just straight up dies.
Good note on that. Good note on that. Now there's that team fight again. Here goes. Watch that Aegis disappear, and yep. And then he tries to run. Ooh, tough fight from them. Yeah, just really unlucky for 5RATFORCESTAFF, especially with that last little Luna Glaive. They expect that one to be enough, but nope. Off and away Spectre goes. Okay, so now to get back to my question, as there's the Shadow Blade. I would expect a LC to more reliably be able to get the break onto a Spectre in this game compared to a Luna. So why is it a talent? Oh, hold that thought. There's another duel. Oh, it's a big one as well. They caught Oklahoma in the river. He bottles up the haste rune, but it'll lead to a hasty death for him. So is it just the fact that Tinkle King's had a bad start, can't afford the item, or is it just better on Luna?
No. Tinkle King's game is fine here. It's just that he could really use the BKB here because it makes the OD's game disappear. You just want that BKB at the ready, and since Luna already has hers, and she's not going to use it to initiate in with, mind you, so you can just save the active on your SB until the Spectre shows up, whereas an LC might actually have to come in immediately, be the initiator, use that SB for that already. So there's a couple of good reasons why this is just fine over Luna.
Okay, that makes sense. Does make sense. Not an initiation item. LC already has a blink for that anyhow, and has had no difficulty usually finding duels, except for that one when he just got away. Oh, they're going to catch Speed here, though. Yeah, Tinkle King with the duel. There's Fiend's Grip if they need it, as they have to toggle off the Nightmare. They have the damage. That's going to be a total of 70 now for Tinkle King. Nico gets the kill. Who's this? Italiano Gangstar. Okay, there's the break. There's plenty of damage. The Eclipse being tanked right now by Murdoch. Down he goes. Had Shadow Step, had Haunt, but had kind of nowhere to go. Italiano Gangstar, though. Okay, the support duo once again doing support things. Oklahoma here to back them up, as there's going to be Silence and the Sonic Wave on top. They're going to trade 1 for 1, but now Red 2 is going to rejoin this engagement. Finds the kill onto the Grimstroke. There's a great Fiend's Grip through the BKB of Oklahoma. A Nightmare as well, holding down Ziz, as he's got nothing left to do but TP away. Quap actually lives. She gets a blink away. Nico giving chase, but misses the Sleight of Fist. And he's not going to be able to get the kill. Ooh.
Still a haste rune in the bottle for Oklahoma there as well. He was further away than they thought. That's honestly, I think that's still a good pickup from 5RATFORCESTAFF in the end. Solo kill for your carry. Just a little bit of a slowdown on this top lane push now. And I guess Tingle King is in trouble now.
Yeah, mid lane, BKB active. It's around BKB as the hook shot is going to find one of the cores. Okay, Murdoch though able to close the gap here. They're looking for the Ember Spirit, but without a silence, he is off and away immediately, especially with the Ag Scepter. He's got plenty of remnants to play with.
The rune of regeneration.
And I imagine that now that he's got his shard, which is a little bit of an unusual stop. A lot of Ember players don't think that this is that big of a damage increase. They instead prefer to invest that in either the BKB or the refresher. And he's going to go for the BKB first, which is the correct choice again versus the OD. With triple BKB, this OD just has no impact on the game anymore.
Yeah, especially because he's decided to actually itemize into Ag Scepter second item, right? Has now the Aether Lens on top, as well as this Grove Bow, which of course neutral item RNG, but it's pretty darn good for speed. Kind of gives him everything he wants. If it works how Deso does, which I imagine is the same way for this item, you do get that magic amp on the first attack, as they're going to find a Bane. My goodness. Shadow Step on the way in. Whoa, this is an aggressive duel, but with Kisses behind him, they're actually going to be able to follow up, get the victory, perhaps even a little bit more. Good hook shot there from the overclock is going to allow him to pick off, at the very least, B-God on the back lines. Murdoch haunts on over to him. Murdoch, though, now kind of isolated from the rest of the team as E-Boy's out of gas in the tank. As well, that tank is empty now. Down goes Ziz. So, again, a 2 for 3. Only the 2 supports picked off, though. And again, more duel damage.
He's got him.
No way. Does he? Again, Italian Gunstar the break? No. Murdoch, he's in the trees. He's away. Luna, she's got the Lucent Beam Shard, but she was Mask of Madness, so could not actually cast the ability. Murdoch's going to live again.
Oh, big regrets there on the Mom Pop. That was too close for comfort, though.
Yeah, way too close. If only we were had our yesterday's match with Dad, then I could make a mom and pop joke, but nope. Instead, they're going to go on to Roshan with his little Christmas hat. And this is going to be Aegis and Cheese. Sorry, Aegis and Shard, pardon me. Second Roche. So many times I've gotten used to saying that. I finally got used to saying a fresh 9-second BKB Kips, and I'm still getting used to saying second Roche comes with Aegis and Shard now. But that Shard, who have they given it to? Because Ember already had it.
Bane.
Bane, okay.
So we've got AoE Brain Sap at the ready, which is a nice little bit of extra damage and of course extra sustain for Bane. Even though of course these secondary targets don't heal him that much. Yeah, you can get a lot of survivability out of this if they're all clustered on top of each other.
Now that you mention it, I'm really surprised that 5RATFORCESTAFF actually decided to, I suppose, Nico especially, buy the Shard. Because you look at 5RATFORCESTAFF, especially compared to E-Boy's Lilliput, are they going to
He's getting hammered?
Nope, there he's
no.
A little bit too soon. Yeah, Silence isn't going to catch him either. And they are just going to turn. Okay, there's going to be the duel on to speed. Murdoch unsure what he's to do here, as they've already lost 2. Nico returning from his adventure underneath the Tier 2 tower is going to be safe and sound, especially with that Aegis. And once again, 5RATFORCESTAFF just finding pickoffs here left and right. Are going to continue applying pressure. Tingle King, he won that duel, up to 120 damage now. But everyone really on 5RATFORCESTAFF, except for Bane, has got like an amazing Shard. Bane's is also really good, but like, he's a Bane, you know, it's just fine.
Yeah, he's Bane.
Yeah.
Just that literally everybody else already has it.
Exactly. That's why I was surprised that Ember decided to buy it. Because it is a good Shard, but yeah. I just think, you know, he could have easily taken it. I don't think Bane was exactly hankering for that
Oh, they know where Murdoch is.
They do, and they're going to have Get Vision here as well. They're just looking for a very easy Fiend's Grip. Tingle King even with another duel. The break even applied. 5RATFORCESTAFF will encircle the Spectre and take her down. 150 damage now, as Murdoch will take his only second death of the game. But that may be too many already here, Kips. It's starting to look real dire for them.
This is a Spectre. You are going to scale with your enemy's damage, I would say, but at this point he's just not keeping up in hit points, which is... It's getting rather dicey. And Evoluna, they can end.
Speed, okay. Kisses coming down from B-God, as this is going to overclock. Can't use that if you're Nightmare, though, as the Kisses are going to find Albino Zebra trying to hide on his high ground. This overclock, yeah, he's going to come out stunned even. So down he goes. Nothing stops you from taking that stun from overclock. Valve decided if you're going to overclock, you are going to take damage. He's stunned.
I mean, I want to say a just punishment. It's not. I don't want to be quite that harsh, but it is an extremely powerful ability. So, gotta come with the drawback. I like abilities with drawbacks. I think there should be more in this game, actually.
Agree. If you're gonna armlet toggle through, I don't know, who's someone that hits really slowly. If you're gonna armlet toggle through OD, hold that
Spirit
on.
Breaker.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What was that?
What?
Murdoch. Alright, I think that they've lost the plot here, Kips. Glaive's bouncing around between the towers. I think this one's all but over. There's no buyback on the Spectre for an entire minute. That was a shadow step, of course, and I think that might have been one step too far there for Murdoch.
Just say, I think he was just playing around. He did not expect to get punished immediately.
Where's got all of his mana missing right now? Oh, Albino Zebra is saved there as the Spirit Bomb from Nico will not find anyone. Oh, but it's okay. It's only if Gunstar's going to have to kill after he comes out.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Yeah, not really. I mean, if he was playing around, 5RATFORCESTAFF certainly weren't. They murdered him as soon as he showed up.
All business.
Dire's bottom tower
I mean, they waited long to play this game. They want to get down to it.
Yeah, just look. He's going to appear bottom left of the screen and just immediately into the duel. Okay. Well, that was pretty easy for 5RATFORCESTAFF, as they are hunting as well. This Queen of Pain trying to cut just one more wave, but Single King already in position. Just, you know, they're great. The 5RATFORCESTAFFs, man, they know how to hunt down some rats here. They're not messing around. They've clearly watched some replays, I want to say, for E-Boys, by the way, because not once have I seen E-Boys really been able to delay a push using creep wave shenanigans. There's always been stuff ready here for 5RATFORCESTAFF to respond.
Yep, and it's one of the things that they really excel at, I think, was they're very good at their creep wave control, very good at getting opportunities for this support duo, and it just hasn't really happened this game.
This is positioned to break this smoke, but it's already one pair of barracks remaining here. 5RATFORCESTAFF, 15 seconds left on this Aegis as Nico's already on in with his BKB, forces the Astral onto one, as there's going to be the break applied. V-God in some trouble though, as Murdoch chasing him down. The cookie up to the high ground buys him a bit of time, but there's a double buyback right now from the supports of the E-Boys, as in a bit deep here is the 5RATFORCESTAFF cores. This Aegis is about to be reclaimed here. There it goes, perfectly timed with the Sonic Wave.
Wow.
Oklahoma gets the double kill. The Eclipse is through here, but that's not going to be nearly enough damage for Italiano. Gangstar does get the break and the kill, at least onto the Clockwork, but he's going to have to BKB and TP home. And they will be left without the tier 3 tower, without that last pair of barracks. The E-Boys will hold on a bit longer in this game.
That is really not how they envisioned that to go, and yeah, they haven't really been bothered so far by the Aghanim Scepter over on speed, because usually the second line of initiation, you know, the Ember goes in, the OD shows by saving, the LC jumps the OD. That's how it's been going. Recipe easily followed, and this time they didn't get him on the reinitiation, and suddenly they're in too deep.
And they were trying to keep their head from going under, but unfortunately, that's perfect timing here on that Sonic Wave. Like just exactly. Beautiful. I always call that out just in case it comes into effect, but really nothing this Ember Spirit could do. You can see it's gone from the inventory, and there goes his hit points as well. And of course, Luna then just BKBs and leaves. So good hold from E-Boys. Big kill into Ember. Yeah. That's only his second death of the game. He must have fed a ton of gold as well here, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's also his second unfortunate Aegis timeout.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's very true actually. Yeah, he BKB'd on the first life and just went in. Didn't want to really be harassed or harangued at all. And, well, ends up getting to spend 80 seconds in the fountain thinking about his decisions. He's back now, though. And I would say 5RATFORCESTAFF still with a very firm control over this game, despite their deaths.
Italiano Gangstar saving his BKB, keeping his cool, TPing out there was absolutely excellent. If they lose him, there's a risk that, well, there's a late Roshan spawn anyway, but...
Well, Oklahoma.
They would have risked the Roche.
BKB in a way. Almost enough money here for the Bloodthorn. Very effective against the supports. Yeah, there's still no save. There's still no dispels on either of these supports. So that would be a good tool of stopping kisses or stopping a potential Fiend's Grip. As King on the way in with a duel. Oh, he's caught Oklahoma.
Well.
Okay, Speed is here with the saves. Is from behind as well. Can they actually look to turn this one, though? Oklahoma's going to come into a lot of damage. Immediately dead. He's going to have to buy back to get back into this one. But doesn't have BKB. The overclock holding down B-God as the Force Staff trying to get him out of a dodge. Murdoch, though, will close the gap there with the Haunt and pick up the kill to die back here for the Snapfire. Speed, he's caught one with the hammer. It's going to be Tingle Kings out from the Astral. He goes, but there's a Tide of Gunstar just turning with the damage. Out from the Astral Imprisonment. Nightmare into Fiend's Grip. Finds Oklahoma as well as Nico picks off one offlaner. Will pick off the second, and that's GG well played. It's just Murdoch alone versus 4, and he cannot look to hold. Not versus Aluna, not versus 5RATFORCESTAFF. They're going to be able to take game 1 here.
Peeled apart like an onion at the end there. I think the biggest part is that at this point, you know, you can work around